Okay, so I'm here with Clarke, who's the Energy Strategy Director for Wales and West Utilities. Thanks for joining us, Chris, at second day of Utility Week Live. I wondered firstly, obviously this is the first year that we've had the Gas Innovation Showcase, so I wondered if you could tell us a bit more about the collaboration that's been on show and the role that Wales and West have played in that.
Yeah, sure. I think the networks have always done a lot of collaboration on individual projects, but I think what we haven't done in the past is join that all together, almost join the dots together. So this year, probably about 12 months ago, we decided to actually hold a more collaborative event, all pool our resources onto one stand and actually make sure we're showcasing each other's technology, but also emerging from that is more of a single voice from the networks, particularly around the future and where we see gas networks going.
Yeah, I mean, obviously there's been a lot of talk recently in the media, national media, around climate change and the Committee on Climate Change, obviously with their net zero target for 2050.
Yeah.
So what role do you think that gas networks can play in terms of the decarbonisation agenda?
Yeah, well, I think if you look at that report, for first thing it's talks about is saying there's an essential role for gas networks actually. So that's pleasing to see that in the report, and actually we are very keen to see a net zero target ourselves, and that's something we support. So I think the role gas networks will play in that is in a much more complex role than it does at the moment. Clearly we see decarbonisation of heat as one of the biggest challenge. We see that happening through particularly hydrogen, but also other green gases, biogases in conjunction with hybrid heating systems. So I think we're broadly supportive of the Climate Change Committee report, and I think there's an essential role for gas networks in delivering that, particularly at the least cost and least disruption to consumers. It can be done by other ways, but actually the cheapest and least disruptive way is maintaining the gas network is part of that solution.
And in terms of the role of hydrogen, how important is it that that's now tested at a larger scale? There's obviously been a number of trials and things that have gone on at trial stages, but how important is it now that it's proven at a larger scale and as a viable way forward?
Yeah. Okay. So I mean, all the evidence is pointing to the fact that hydrogen is an important part of the future, and yes, we need to do the demonstration work, and that is going on. It's being funded. It's been funded in combination with Ofgem innovation funding and funding from BEIS. So that work is moving ahead at quite some pace. I've just been at a presentation that was explaining all of that. So hydrogen I think is a key role, not just for domestic, but perhaps even more important for our industry. In South Wales, where I work, industry and the industrial heartland of South Wales is crucial to the economy of Wales. And without hydrogen, the risk is we'll lose that industry overseas, where other people won't be following the same carbon target pathways.
And just going back to the showcase that you've had here, obviously we're on the second day. Has there been some good ideas shared amongst the gas networks, and are you hearing lots of sort of positive feedback about the way forward?
I am actually, and I think E&A have been playing a big role in trying to pull some of this together, both from a whole energy perspective with electricity networks and the gas networks. And there's a Pathways project that they've been working on, and actually all the networks have signed up to that along with National Grid, and that's probably one of the standout items for me. That project is progressing very, very quickly. We've already come up with what the conclusion of what a future energy system should look like, both electricity and gas, and now they're working how to put that into practice and what the pathway and the roadmap looks like to bring that to fruition.
Because how important is that multi-vector approach then?
It's essential. Without it, the costs go up and the disruption goes up, and the security of supply would be disrupted. So some of the modelling and simulations that we've done, we've seen some solutions proposed leading to blackouts maybe 2,000 hours a year. And that's clearly not acceptable to the consumers. So that multi-vector approach is essential, something we in Wales and West have been campaigning for quite a few years actually, and have done a lot of work on it. And it's good to see that work now being picked up on a wider basis.
Yeah, and you've touched upon it already, but I wondered if you could tell us a bit more about some of the work that Wales and West Utilities are doing right now.
Yeah, okay. So I suppose some of the stuff I'm most excited about is the collaborative work we're doing with the distribution network operators on the electricity side. So we've just finished Project Freedom, which was with Western Power Distribution. And now working on a project called Green City Vision, and that's with Scottish Southern Electricity Networks and UK Power Networks, and that's to design the networks of the future. So we've done one already, and that's just coming to a conclusion, which is the Swindon area, which includes Marlborough and Devizes, that sort of triangle of area, and with SSEN, who are the network operator, we're designing what that system would look like, and now just finished that project. Then we're moving on to do that on a more regional basis. We're doing the whole of Wales and the whole of southwest of England, looking at a very granular bottom-up way and working out what the best solution is for each different geographic area, and doing that with the cooperation of the distribution network operator as well.
Great, and I wondered if I could get your thoughts on the government's recently announced Future Home Standard, and obviously the plans to ban gas heating systems in new homes from 2025. What are your thoughts on that, Chris?
Well, look, decarbonisation is going to need radical change. I think maybe that's a change too far, given that actually now we could put in a zero carbon heating system, which includes a gas network now. And that could be cheaper for those new homes and those new homeowners. We know how difficult it is to get on a housing ladder, and we would prefer to see a solution that makes it easier for our young people to get on that housing ladder, and that could be done by a green gas heating system, and that could be done today.
And finally, in Network Magazine, we're shining a light on the network of the future. So I wondered if I could get your thoughts on what you think the gas network of the future might look like.
It's going to look very different to today. Our own vision in Wales and West, in our particular territory, is we see 100% hydrogen network within the South Wales and Bristol area, so M4 corridor. We see actually the rest of it as a biomethane network, using hybrid heating technology and wind energy to heat the homes around the rest of the network. So definitely North Wales and the southwest of England are ripe for that. So we see a very different network. We see storage continuing to be a key issue. Gas networks have got a lot of storage, but we see actually needing more storage in the future, particularly seasonal storage. So we will see those changes coming, but we've got the engineers, we've got the technology, and we're ready to do it.
Okay, great. Thank you very much for joining us, Chris. Appreciate your time.
Pleasure.
Thank you.
No problem at all.